You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
Hi, everybody. It's time for Too Sweet to Be Sour. Don't underestimate my power to control my narrative. It's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast, and we are going to talk all control your narrative for the next 14 hours because, good Lord, if there's a promotion that you want to talk about, it's definitely control your narrative. Welcome, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. I am your host, Ransom the Madman, along with the other hosts in crime, Beef the Legend, Pook the Bard, Tiger Bomb Tom, and if there is any justice in this world, this will be from henceforth known as the P3 Control Your Narrative Podcast, because there is no better wrestling promotion than control your narrative. The first rule of the P3 podcast is you talk about control your narrative. The second rule of the P3 podcast is you talk about control your narrative. The third rule of the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast is fuck you, beef. We're going to talk about control your narrative.
It's a rib. It's a rib. It's a rib. It's over. We're done. No more ribbing. We're done with fucking control your narrative. No one has
Instead, we're going to talk.
So mad.
No one. We're going to talk about WrestleMania. We're going to continue our discussion of WrestleMania and smattering here and there of control your narrative.
Yeah,
is there a possibility that Seth Rollins, we're going to pick up right where we left off, is there a possibility that Seth Rollins, instead of facing Cody Rhodes at this year's WrestleMania, as Tiger Bomb Tom stated, since it is in Texas, could we possibly see Cody Rhodes, or could we see EC3 show up controlling his narrative and facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was about to commend us for doing a Who Shot Mr. Burns episode where we actually pick up on a cliffhanger.
Oh, fucking God.
Because we don't usually do that.
Nope, we don't get to be the baby on this one.
I am the ruiner of all good things.
Ransom
not
has
unlike control your narrative.
The Reclaimer has come. The Reclaimer has come. The Reclaimer has come.
Has controlled his narrative. All right.
Ransom has controlled his narrative.
He's narrating his control.
I don't think that it is in the cards for Seth Rollins to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I know
There's
it's in Texas.
Hell. No way.
But that would have to be that. Okay. That would be probably one of the biggest swerves ever. Because everybody is expecting Cody Rhodes. Right. Especially if Cody doesn't debut on Monday before Mania. If he doesn't, every single person, if Seth Rollins comes to the ring, is going to believe that Cody Rhodes is going to come out and challenge him. No one on this earth, aside from the speculation that we've just let out here, you've heard it here first, folks, on Control Your Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast Narrative Podcast. No one is going to suspect The Undertaker. So is it possible, just a smattering of tiny possibilities, that Vince McMahon could pull a swerve strictly for his own yucks?
Yep.
And have The Undertaker come out to chokeslam, tombstone, 1, 2, 3, bong out.
For God's sake, no. Leave the poor fucking man alone. Stop. He's already the dead man. Just leave him alone.
Are you trying to tell me this guy's actually dead?
To
be clear.
One second. It would baffle me if that shit happened. It would absolutely baffle and befuddle me and make me so sad because he's done. And I love the Undertaker. As a wrestling fan, you gotta love Taker. But
is he?
It's just I don't want to believe that is in the realm of fucking possibility.
So here's my thing.
So hold on, we're not the only talking head. Booker T predicted this as well. I'm reading an article from today. That Booker T,
quack quack, baby.
There he is, baby.
Oh, you know what? I got clickbaited. He said, I don't think we're going to see The Undertaker at WrestleMania 38. So we are the only idiots talking about it.
So here's the thing. to be clear, I'm not saying I want to see this happen. I do. I'm playing devil's advocate because
I want it.
Because, like Poot said, it would, or Poot and Ransom both said it would be a huge swerve. But Poot saying it would make him so sad, yada yada yada. Well, look what they did with the Fiend at WrestleMania. I mean, anything is possible. Anything.
I'd laugh my ass off.
In Vince McMahon's fucking universe, not even a multiverse, but in Vince McMahon's universe, he is God. And he will make it as he sees fit. So if that's what he wants, and fucking Mark Calloway is, ready to play ball, chokeslam, tombstone, done. And then Cody debuts the next night on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my gosh, that would be the best thing ever.
There is that possibility, and I'm so glad that I got Ransom. I'm so glad I got Ransom amped up for it now.
I'm excited. So excited for The Undertaker to beat Seth Rollins. So excited for Stone Cold to have a match. So excited.
So excited. He's roboting out.
He's so excited the Matrix is taking him.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you all.
So I'm going to pivot here because I think that it's important that I do.
Pivot.
Surprises. So surprises are not surprises. Seth Rollins are not the only thing in store. Omos is also up for he's been looking for a match as well, talking about how he needs a match, and they're pushing him. On Monday Night Raw, they had him beat Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz
Who cares?
at the same time. Well, the fact that they're pushing him is a big deal.
Nah.
And reportedly, he's going to be facing former WWE champion Bobby Lashley.
And he'll just fucking ruffle stomp over Lashley. Lashley's going to get put back down on the card. We're already taking care of Apollo Crews as a great ring worker. You're just burying him in his weird lackey. And it's fuck WWE. Why? Why right before Mania?
Wow.
Are you pushing this almost motherfuck?
You're not even giving Lashley a shot. You think that they're gonna, assuming it happens, you think that they're gonna push Omos over Lashley?
Yes. Okay. Because WWE is stupid as fuck.
I
mean, they have controlled their narrative.
If you're looking for arguments, you're in the wrong crowd, buddy. I think that this is probably going to happen. I think I made because I have watched the last 2 episodes of Monday Night Raw, expecting to see Cody, and I have not. So they've suckered me in.
Nerd.
You sheeple, you.
But exactly. But realistically, like I made the distinction that Omos is kind of what they want, what Vince wanted out of Ezekiel Jackson and Ahmed Johnson. Except he's super fucking green, but he's like a big, tall, muscular black dude who looks like he can pound you into dirt. Whether or not he has any actual talent or skill, Vince doesn't care about. He's just excited that there's a tall, muscular black dude that looks like he could fucking lay waste to somebody. But isn't that what Bobby Lashley was for anyway? I don't know.
Or Big E.
Yeah, or Big E. Big E.
Have we heard an update on him?
I have not. I now that we mention it,
he's very positive about it. But it sounds like, it's speculation that it could be potentially a career-ending injury. It could have been a life-ending injury, or like a leg-ending injury. Like he could have
ended up like Draws, man.
Oh, yeah, man. God, yeah.
He realized, because the C1, which is what was broken, like that.
I didn't realize it was C1. Jesus Christ.
That's
I think they said
one
C1 and C3.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
The C1 is what is like the fucking base of your brainstem, man. Like that controls everything. So he's a lucky son of a bitch. Regardless of what happens in his future, he is so lucky to be where he is, and he's very positive and thankful for it. And let's be honest, if Big E doesn't set foot in the WWE ring again, he can be beneficial in a number of ways because he's super fucking entertaining. they're going to find a way to figure him out. But bottom line here is that my point with Omos is that like they're doing that thing that they did with Ezekiel Jackson and Ahmed Johnson that never really panned out. Whereas, and that's why I don't think that they're going to have Bobby Lashley lose to him, because it doesn't make sense, because Bobby Lashley has pedigree. He was the next big thing after Lesnar came along. He was like the next Brock Lesnar, and then he struck out on his own. He like dominated Impact, no pun intended. He was he was an MMA for a while. Like, he did a great job of, again, improving his stock. So there's no way that they're gonna let him lose
Bobby
to fucking
the pressure
Omos,
cooker
right?
Lashley.
So this I'm just while you were asking about it, I started Googling, and the last update that I saw was from last week from Big E. C1 and C6. C1 and C6 are indeed fractured, not displacement though, which is a very good thing. No damage to the spinal cord. He's saying that he's not going to need surgery, which I find odd. If those are fractured, that he won't need surgery, but if they say he can let it heal or whatever without surgery, who knows how long that's going to take, then good on him. No ligament damage, no surgery, which he's very, very thankful for. And that's pretty much it. He's walking around, no any, temporary paralysis, not showing any loss of strength, anything like that. So, I mean, yeah, he's insanely lucky that it wasn't a lot worse.
So I don't see any difference in Omos than I do with Vladimir Kozlov or
That's a name.
Heidenreich. These were both big dudes the WWE pushed as monsters, but they were both so terrible that the fan base didn't care. They didn't love them. They didn't dislike them. They nothinged them. And that's why they both wound up as jokes.
Yep.
And
Vladimir Kozlov ended as a joke.
And
Heidenreich ended as a joke.
Heidenreich was a joke from the get-go.
No.
They built him as a monster.
Yeah.
They built him as a monster against The Undertaker.
Yep, they built him to feed to The Undertaker. After being fed to The Undertaker at that Survivor Series is when he really became the joke.
Yeah, and they both became jokes because nobody cared. And the same thing's going to happen with Omos.
Snitsky was another one. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. The list can go on.
Listen, it's not his fault.
Shut up.
But the fact of the matter is, Omos doesn't have it. He's big.
Yep.
He's got the big factor to him. But we've seen it before, and it's WWE, so we'll see it again. The big factor doesn't make you a star. The big factor is not going to get you to where you need to go. You need to be entertaining. You need to be good in the ring. And Omos isn't. Omos looks like he is utterly lost.
He's
Every time he steps into the ring, it looks like he got there, forgot where he was, and then woke up and went, What am I doing here? What do I got to do? What am I doing? What do I need to do?
So I'll say this.
He's not going to make it. He's not.
Last week when they had Aziz versus Omos, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be a fucking pile up on I-95. Like, let's get our fucking popcorn out. And it wasn't. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. Was it a fucking 5-star match? Hell no. I don't think he's capable of that. But it wasn't as drizzling shits as I thought it was going to be. Same thing with this week. Outside of them, demonstratively proving that they have no thoughts of ever pushing Uhaa Nation ever again.
That was a good looking word, by the way. Demonstratively.
Other than that, it wasn't a terrible match. I think the guy has a chance, but
he needs, again, just to mention, he needs to work with people who can hide his flaws.
This is why they have the Performance Center. This is why they have NXT for guys that absolutely could be a star in 2 to 3 years, but they have to grind their flaws off or figure out ways to hide them better.
You have two groups of people that need to compete with opponents in order to hide their flaws. And that is, like we talked about last time, people who are past their prime and can't go like they used to. They need the opponent to hide their flaws. When you're new, young, and or either one of those two,
green,
you shouldn't be on one of the main shows needing opponents to hide your flaws. Like Beef said, that's what NXT is for. That's what the Performance Center is for. He should be there learning, soaking it in, making mistakes, learning from them, getting better. Then when he gets to Raw and SmackDown, he doesn't need opponents to hide his flaws. They're doing it wrong.
No, and I agree wholeheartedly. But again, this goes back to a core problem of WWE and their booking. They're leading up to one of the biggest shows of the year. If not, aside from any of the Blood Money shows, which are equal to or better than WrestleMania.
Yes, good job.
Coming up to WrestleMania, like fucking, you just, it's like this weird snap decision, and they're just like, and I know the mentality is let's throw him in the deep end, see if he can swim. It's snap decision. Like no build-up booking, and we've seen WWE do long-term booking before, and it always works pretty well. Well, I'll say most of the time, nothing's ever perfect. But when they do long-term storytelling and long-term booking, it worked out great back in the day. They just don't do it.
Everything was perfect.
They do things like this where it's just out of nowhere, and they're just like, we need to fill some time, so let's fucking almost do it, and it's stupid, and it only takes a couple moments. It can take a couple moments to make a WrestleMania, but it can take a couple moments to fucking break one too.
Yep.
So there's a lot.
Forget the fact. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a lot that I'm excited about at this year's WrestleMania. Becky versus Bianca has a real chance to be great. Edge versus AJ, we know where we're gonna get. Charlotte versus Ronda, I think could be a really fun spectacle. The
Charlotte will look
team,
completely different.
I'm sure the Raw Tag Team Championship match with RK Bro, the Street Profits, and Alpha Academy. That'll
be fun.
Who are the champs going into that?
RK Bro.
Oh, they haven't.
They're going to compete in a triple threat match, playa.
And the best booked match of the
Undertaker, playa,
is Brock and Roman for the unification match, which is the best told story that WWE has done in a long time. The best booked match. These two are looking amazing. Yep. I love fucking Yeehaw Brock with his fucking cowboy hat, like spearing Roman Reigns' fucking SUV with that forklift. Man, he looked like he was having a blast. I'm behind this, and I think that this like WrestleMania feud that they have is second only to Austin Rock, because obviously they've met several times at WrestleMania as well. But I mean, it's a good ebb and flow match. So there's a lot of great happening, but here are my glaring weak points for the show. Pat McAfee.
Pat. Oh, he got it right.
He got it right.
I know I did.
Thunderous applause.
I'm so fucking proud.
Though. He had to pause.
I am a journalist. I do my homework. No, it was pure luck. I love Pat. I love Pat on commentary. He is absolutely amazing at what he does, and he is being lauded for it. He is a bigger than life personality. I don't understand why he has a fucking match at WrestleMania.
Reasons. Reasons.
He had a great match with Adam Cole, but again, it's Adam fucking Cole. I like Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory's pretty good in the ring. I think that this could be a decent match, but again, I go back to the idea of what business does Pat have having a match at WrestleMania? That's numero uno. Number 2 is obviously the celebrity involvement. On two nights we're getting celebrity matches. Not like, hey, we're here for a timekeeper or whatever. No. They are part of a match with Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn on night 2, and Logan Paul and The Miz versus the Mysterios on night 1.
God, why? Why do we trot out human garbage?
I saw a couple people pose the idea that Logan Paul is not actually going to be part of the match, and that's where Cody's showing up. And I was like, bull fucking shit.
Wait, shut up! They're not going to do that. No, don't even entertain that.
Who's in the match that Logan Paul's involved in again? Give me that again.
The Miz and the Mysterios. And the Mysterios are his opponents, Dominic and Ray.
Yeah, I don't.
They're not going to bill Logan Paul for that and have Cody replace him. It's not going to happen.
I just I understand. So last year we all kind of gave Bad Bunny a bad rap before. We were like, oh, I don't know why they're doing this. And he came out and he was en fuego, man. He was dynamite. Logan Paul, here's what I'll say about Logan Paul.
He's human garbage.
Yes, both Paul brothers are, but they know how to produce a show. They know how to put on a spectacle. This dude is tailor-made for wrestling. And people, for whatever fucking reason, like to watch him and his brother Jake get the shit beat out of them.
Because a quarter of the human population are fucking idiots. That's why.
We also want to see them get their ass kicked. I know I do.
Yes.
I don't want to see them in a wrestling match, but I want to see someone beat the ever-loving fuck out of them.
So, I mean...
isn't that the point, though?
Exactly. It gets you clicks. So but believe you me.
You've said, though.
Logan Paul, I understand. Logan Paul, I understand far more than Knoxville because Logan Paul is relevant. Logan Paul is jazzy. And Logan Paul is absolutely a fucking heat magnet. Johnny Knoxville is on a show that was big fucking 20 years ago. He looks like an old man, and he, I don't understand Knoxville at all.
Logan Paul, like Beef said, he's tailor-made for wrestling. He's a real-life heel.
He should go to Control Your Narrative. He'd fit right in.
People want to see him get his ass beat. And if people want to see him get his ass beat in real life, wrestling fans definitely want to see him get his ass beat in a wrestling ring. If he can physically put up with this is the perfect place for him. Because he's naturally good at promo, mic work, and people will hate him organically. Like, wrestling is the best possible place for him to be. So that makes a lot more sense than Johnny Knoxville. But I will say, contrary to Beef's opinion, Pat McAfee, I believe, out of all three of those people, has the most legitimacy to be in a match. Because he has been before. Yeah, he's a commentator, but he's a commentator for wrestling. He's been in wrestling matches before. He's not a guy that has nothing to do with wrestling, showing up at WrestleMania for a big spotlight and a big payday and going to go away. He's going to be back next week, albeit on commentary, but he's going to be back. So I'm less upset about Pat McAfee than I am about Logan Paul, and I'm much less upset about Logan Paul than I am about Johnny Knoxville.
Here's my problem with
I would love to see Logan Paul get his ass beat. Johnny Knoxville is a human pincushion. Worse than Mick Foley.
Yep.
Like Jim Cornette.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Run Mick Foley down all he wants. But the fact of the matter is that Johnny Knoxville is a glorified TV stuntman who has an absolute zero business being at WrestleMania, other than the fact that, hey, they just had a new movie come out. Hey, it's Johnny Knoxville. Hey, people know him.
I think he even said, like, the shit that he's doing for this, like in interviews, when you hear him talk about this movie, when you hear him talk about the promotion of the movie and everything and stuff, it you could tell like Johnny Knoxville is not feeling it. Like he's doesn't want to do it. Like he's done. Like he don't want to do it.
How many times can you get hit in the balls before you go, okay, you know what? Maybe enough.
Well,
he actually quit this shit.
He broke his dick. You know that, right?
All right. We don't need to. This isn't the Johnny Knoxville show. We don't need to go into Johnny Knoxville's bullshit.
Agreed.
Oh well, you know. So I'm just saying.
Here's my problem with Pat. And yes, I know that we have Raw. We have SmackDown tomorrow night, and we have Raw next week and SmackDown next week. So anything could happen. But right now, Pat McAfee has a match on the Show of Shows with no build up other than Vince McMahon coming on his podcast and being like, "Yeah, man, you got a match." Like, why? I don't know. No psychology there. Like they've built it up okay. But like, here's who's missing WrestleMania: the United States Champion Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I think that they're probably going to end up on the card against each other. The Intercontinental Champion Ricochet, Kofi Kingston, Ridge Holland, Sheamus, Butch. All of them are missing.
Ridge Holland's busy breaking people's necks.
Yep.
Fucking
busy being
fucking
renamed.
Butch.
Oh.
Yeah, Butch. I weep.
So like,
baby Butch.
There are people who absolutely should have spots in this card that don't right now, and Pat does. So yes, Pat does have a wrestling career. He did wrestle in NXT, but Vince wants us to forget about NXT Black and Gold ever existing. So it's kind of like Pat McAfee has never had a match before. So, and I'm sure they're probably going to fucking tout it like it's his first fucking match. I would almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
But it's egregious that neither of the mid-card titles are on display at the fucking Show of Shows. If nothing else, man, that is great fucking fodder for ladder matches or multi-person, 4 or 5-man, elimination matches. Yeah, fucking why not? Triple threat, people gotta get paid. I get it. Like, let's have a fucking ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Let's have a fucking Scott Hall Memorial ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title.
That would be
something
great.
Like that, right? And you say the name Ricochet and Kofi Kingston, I'm like, I'm there. You don't got to build anybody else. I'm there.
Speaking of memorial matches, have they said anything about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at all this year?
Nope.
Wow. It'll be pre-show fodder. Someone will win that we don't care about, and that'll be the end of it.
I don't think it's going to be around. I don't think
they're going to do away with it already?
They didn't do it last year.
They didn't?
No. They didn't do it the year before either because of COVID, obviously.
Oh,
but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's done.
I really miss the days of the Money in the Bank ladder match happening at WrestleMania.
Man. Yeah, man.
Yep. I hate that they've made that its own like Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Stop it. Bring back Great Balls of Fire.
Ah.
That was a way.
Goldberg of pay-per-views.
Yeah, baby. That was a way to get people on the WrestleMania show, get them showcased and featured in a big spotlight match without having to worry like, oh shit, what are we gonna do with what are we gonna do with Ricochet? What are we gonna do with Kofi? Fuck, what are we gonna put? We gotta put Sheamus in something now? Where's Sheamus at? You could slap all these guys who don't have a spot in a Money in the Bank ladder match, and every single one of them, get a chance to shine.
Mm-hmm.
What a big waste that is to not have that match at WrestleMania. That is one match where you get multiple stars in the ring at the same time, and they all get the spotlight at least once.
And that's what I'm saying. Like one of my, if not my favorite WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 31, had that amazing Intercontinental title ladder match that started the show with like Wade Barrett, Stardust, Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, R-Truth. No, That was WrestleMania 32. Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, the one that had Daniel Bryan winning at the start of the show at Levi Stadium. Like, that was a fucking great match. And the Intercontinental title, like, yes, I 100% agree. Money in the Bank should be a spectacle at WrestleMania, but because it's not, and it's not going to be, I'm living in the real world now. The Intercontinental title is a great place to have that multi-person ladder match. They did, as Tom mentioned, do it at WrestleMania 32 as well. The Zack Ryder one. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were featured in that very well, and it was decent.
Zack Ryder got one of the best pops of the whole night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And
let's not believe it. What?
I was gonna say, to kind of also tie it in. I think after that he either that night or the next night on Raw or whatever, he had he shared, like, he had a picture because Scott Hall was backstage or whatever, so that was kind of nice little tie in there.
Oh,
go on.
But like somebody mentioned before, this is the perfect year to do in a multi-person intercontinental title ladder match and bill it as the Scott Hall. Hell, you can even bill it as Razor Ramon. It doesn't matter. The guy is still going to get honored. So bill it as the freaking Razor Ramon Memorial Intercontinental ladder match. That's a mouthful, but still, you get what I'm saying. Like, this is the perfect year to do that.
Yep.
Well, what are the okay? First of all, are they even doing anything with the IC belt on Mania?
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying. But like, Ricochet's the perfect fucking guy to have that belt in a fucking ladder match. You know. Yeah. Big E is not going to be back for WrestleMania, obviously. No. So Kofi is out there hoping that Xavier Woods gets better. Why not throw him and fucking Sheamus or Butch or Ridge or all of them into this match and fucking grab some other jagoffs from SmackDown, put them in this ladder match? You'd be like, there you go, and I will be happy. If we get one ladder match, I will be happy.
And Shinsuke Nakamura PP punches all of them. The end.
Oh, for God's
he's
sake.
in a match. Him and Rick Boogs are challenging for the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Usos.
The Dear Lord. Boogs. Fucking Rick Boogs. I get it. He's not a bad worker. He has a good look and everything. But man, that gimmick's dumb as fuck. I can't. And I'm a guitar player, for fuck's sake.
But you know what? Pat gets it over because Pat jumps on the desk and he fucking marks out like he's a dumb mark, and people are like, yeah, this is great, because Pat is great at his job at being a commentator, not a wrestler. Go ahead, Poot. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, there's, even the problem is WWE relies so much on sizzle and not on the steak. That's their problem, especially when it comes to Mania. Every year, it's never like, well, at least Mania will be good. It's not. It's always an absolute roll of the dice. It is absolutely a roll of the dice every single year, whether Mania is going to be good. And they're presumably increasing their odds by having Mania stretch over 2 nights and go, well, night 1 was okay. Night 2 was fucking terrible, though. Like, you know what I mean? I wish I had more insightful things to talk about, but it's just one of those things that I'm just not here for Mania. I'm just not. I'm just mentally, I'm like, it doesn't feel like it should be coming up this quick. It feels like there's nothing that's really exciting going into it. You mentioned the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Intercontinental, but and not even just to have the presumed Scott Hall Memorial ladder match for the IC belt. Not even that, right? But why not use this time to focus on the IC belt and bring it back to prominence where it was?
I mean, you're not wrong, and the same could be said for the Sid. Same could be said for the U.S. title. I mean, look at how much relevance the U.S. title had whenever John Cena did the Open Challenge there for a while and everything like that. He made that belt important again, and I was going back and listening to one of our last episodes whenever we had our whenever we were kind of doing our Scott Hall celebration, and we talked about how Razor Ramon brought the IC title back into relevance. I want to see both of those titles thrive and feel just as important as the WWE Championship. It worries me though that it's not going to happen just because that's not on the forefront of Vince's concern, and looking at the people who currently hold them, not people that Vince has really done well by on the main roster. So it's really an uphill battle.
I think that Balor and Priest will be on the card, even if it's pre-show. I think they're going to be on the card. I would absolutely mark the fuck out if the Demon defended the U.S. title belt. But again, I'm trying not to set my expectations all that high. But I think that they make the appearance on the card, and Balor probably does good business and puts Priest over as it should be.
Quick question. Speaking of title matches, I know both the women's titles, will obviously be on the card.
On night one, for whatever reason, I don't know why.
Both are on night one?
Yeah.
That's weird. Well, card subject. We'll see.
It's a terribly imbalanced. They had to move Edge versus AJ Styles to night one because, without it, it was very imbalanced.
Okay. Have they said anything about the women's tag team titles? Because
that was my other fucking bugaboo, is that they have a lot of fucking.
What a bug! That Beef, get that bugbear in you. Do it.
I just here we go, fucking multi-person matchup extraordinaire. We got Queen Zelina and Carmella, who have no fucking reason to be champions. Let's be honest, other than fucking Carmella boning Corey Graves. And I don't understand why they're champions right now. So Sasha and Naomi are a team because reasons. Rhea and Liv are a team because reasons.
What?
Natalya and Shayna Baszler are a team because reasons, and they're all competing in this match.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Hooray, multi-person match.
So you have
WrestleDeals.com.
So you have three of the better wrestlers in the women's division as a part of this match, in Sasha, Rhea, and Shayna Baszler. All of them fucking buried in fucking obscurity here. You have Natty, who is absolutely the only holdout from the Divas division, who, I still give her a credo, man. She can do pretty much whatever she puts her mind to. Liv Morgan, who had a really great underdog story that they just kind of forgot about. And Naomi, because she's an Uso, and they have to push the Usos to keep Roman happy, to keep The Rock happy.
Why did The Rock happy? Who cares? He's not coming back.
Because you fucking tell Vince McMahon that, because he's planning on The Rock versus Roman Reigns in Hollywood, WrestleMania 39.
All right.
Roman Reigns being a fucking 600-day champion facing The Rock.
Can we just stop sucking the Rock's cock and talk Mania? And can we do a Stump the Chumps? Because
nope, we're gonna do.
I need some sort of
episode of Wild Speculation, and this Wild Speculation is brought to you by me, your friendly neighborhood Go Fuck Yourself, Ransom the Madman. Is there any credence? And again, keep in mind, Vince McMahon loves his yucks. He loves to rib the wrestlers. He loves to rib the fans.
He loves to rib ribs.
He loves it ribbed for your pleasure. Is there any chance? Now, Beef, I need you to put your grumpy old man, best for business pants away and put on your any chance pants. I had to say that slowly, or else I would have swallowed my own tongue. Is there any chance that instead of Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, if Cody doesn't debut before Mania, that instead of that, we see Seth Rollins versus a returning Elias?
Nope.
None. Absolute 0% chance.
0.02%.
Any possibility that could happen.
Why is Elias gone in the first place? Injury?
Reasons.
Because they have nothing for him.
Okay.
Yep, they gave it to Boogs.
So that's it. 0 chance. Could not possibly happen.
There is a negative chance of this happening. The chance of this happening is -5.
Jeez. Okay, that's quite the confidence.
Well, it wouldn't, like, if they did that, it would be the same level as the Royal Rumble where everybody wanted Daniel Bryan, or what was it? It was Bryan to come out. And at number 30, it was who?
Rey Mysterio.
And Pittsburgh booed the fuck out of him.
Yeah, we did. I was part of that crowd.
If you were going
so you're
to
telling
do
me though that they did it already, like they've done it before. So there's no chance they do it again.
If you were going to do that, there's zero reason why you bring Elias back at WrestleMania for that. Like, that's not a big re-debut. That's not going to get, that's not going to get people's Twitter fingers going. There's zero reason not to build that match for a month. I'm not saying that there's not money to be made in that match. I think that there could be. I think that's a stretch, but I think that there could be. But Elias, it's not like he's been hurt. They just have nothing for him. They had vignettes for him a couple months ago about him re-debuting with like a new-ish gimmick. Never happened. Veer is finally coming to Raw on the night after WrestleMania. They have like put a date next to his name, so it's fucking happening, boys.
Why?
But Elias is sitting on the sidelines. Veer,
fucking one of
Veer Mahan, yeah.
The modern day Maharaja's fucking lackeys. I couldn't even remember his name. Jinder Mahal. You know why? Why Veer? You know why? Fucking # blood money reasons.
So, they've been working on his vignettes for the last 2 months, 3 months.
Who cares?
So, Elias, they had vignettes for nothing. They have nothing for him. So there's 0.0.0 chance that he shows up at Mania as Seth Rollins' opponent. He may come out as like the guy who sings "America the Beautiful." They may like introduce him to the crowd some other way, but I doubt it. But he's definitely not going to be Seth Rollins' opponent.
Okay. Good enough for me.
So with that being said, let's do some Stump the Chump, shall we?
Yep.
Also, I know it's going to be heard about 5 or 6 or 7 days later, but it is the Midcard Maniac's birthday today. Happy birthday, Pat. Hope we get this question right, and I can tell you happy birthday, you lose.
So he shares a birthday with The Undertaker?
I believe he does.
Oh, wow. Lucky guy. I share one with Kane. We're like brothers.
The Brothers of Disappointment. Which year's incarnation? I love Poot.
Somebody wants to get server muted.
I had to.
Do it.
Which year's incarnation of Survivor Series lays claim to the shortest traditional elimination match, and who was/were the survivors?
Huh? Okay. So he wants to know which year, or is it multiple years?
Which year? So which years, with an apostrophe, incarnation of Survivor Series lays claim to the shortest traditional Survivor Series elimination match, and who was or were the survivors? I have no clue on this. Survivor Series is not one that I go back and watch.
Is it a traditional like Survivor Series match?
That's what he's asking about. Yes, sir.
Okay.
What is a traditional? Is it 5-on-5?
Yeah.
5-on-5 or 4. 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. Basically, any incarnation of that. It sounds like it's this. It sounds like there should be a very specific one in our minds.
He wants to serve the shortest matches, like time-wise?
Yes. So he wants what year
fuck.
that occurred on, and who was or were the survivors. I think this may have been Doink, Dink, Pink, and Wink, or whatever the hell his name was, versus Jerry, the King Lawler, and Cheesy, Queasy, and Sleazy. I think that may have been the shortest match. I'm not positive. I can't imagine one being shorter than that. But yeah, that match definitely did not go like Broadway.
Can we just take a moment and really appreciate those character names? It makes me hungry for the dollar menu now.
Yeah, right.
Because you're gonna get something cheesy and also queasy, and you'll feel a little bit sleazy.
Yeah, and then the burger might be a little too pink, so I have to go to the toilet and take a dink. Into a doink. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my thought. I couldn't give you a year on that. Maybe 95.
I have no fucking clue. I'm zero help on this one. So unless Ransom pulls us somewhere out of the depths of his ass,
I don't know Survivor Series really well either, and that seems the most feasible to me. Unless there's some like weird twist where there was like an elimination match that was like super gimmicked to get someone over or whatever.
Oh, gross! Excuse me.
Ransom, you working something up over there, or just that burp?
Well, my mic cut out when you were talking because I think my Discord's being funky tonight. What was the one that you said?
The clowns versus the kings. Basically, Doink and his midgets versus Jerry, the King Lawler, and his midgets. I can't imagine there being a shorter Survivor Series match.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense because it just does.
And I'm pretty sure that Doink and his midgets are all of his midgets are the ones who survived. I'm not sure of the year though.
Not a one of his got eliminated?
Nope.
Huh.
So, okay. Oh, excuse me. I had to take a drinky drink. This is another one of those questions that seems like I feel like we need to be clear because there was a Survivor Series match. Well, it was called a Survivor Series elimination match. I don't know if this is considered a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, but I think it was in '99, and it was like the Big Show on one team versus like 4 guys. And that was a real quick match because the Big Show just eliminated people back to back to back, and it was over in maybe a couple of minutes.
Really?
But is Pat considering that a traditional Survivor Series match because it wasn't 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 or whatever the traditional number is? It was 1v4. But it was still kind of like it was billed as a Survivor Series elimination match.
And the fact that he did not include those numbers tells me that he's probably thinking the exact same event that you're thinking. Because otherwise I think he would have put 4-on-4 or 5-on-5
or he would have used the term traditional.
So read the question again. Okay, so
Which year's incarnation of Survivor Series lays claim to the shortest traditional elimination match, and who was/were the survivors?
So
and Ransom said that they did bill it as a traditional Survivor Series match, right?
Right.
They didn't use the word traditional. They billed it as a 1v4 Survivor Series elimination match.
Which I think
that's how they billed it.
Yeah, which I think is the same thing.
So here's my suggestion for this. We could put both the answers out there because I don't think that we should technically be wrong. If we say both, because given the funkiness of that particular Big Show Survivor Series match there, we don't know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
That's, he
Unless he's just saying, unless he thought that we were thinking that one, and he's swerving us. So I mean, Inception style here.
I disagree with Tom. I think that we should put out one answer because I think that he is using loopholes to kind of, go outside the box, and I'm a fan of that.
Well, I mean, if he said traditional in the question, then go with an actual traditional 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 6-on-6, and go with the
fact that they called the Big Show match a Survivor Series elimination match tells me that that's a traditional. They may not have said this is a traditional Survivor Series match, but the fact that they built it a Survivor Series elimination match tells me that it should be part of that. So I am 100% with Ransom. That match existed completely outside of my purview for whatever fucking reason. But
now let me just say this too: if he's looking for the quote unquote like 5v5 or whatever, if it's not this Big Show match that he's thinking of or talking about, there was a shorter women's Survivor Series elimination match where it was 5-on-5. I can't remember the exact year. I'd have to do some thinking, but I'm fairly certain that Beth Phoenix was the victor in that match because I think like that was like one of her big claims to fame was that she was the sole survivor. I think it was just her on her team.
And you think that was shorter than Doink and his midgets versus Jerry and his little people?
Yes.
Okay. I believe.
Yeah, I think it went faster, but again, I don't know which one he's talking about.
And there's probably something that happened with like DOA and Los Boricuas or some shit where like multiple people got eliminated at the same time. So like that may have been a quick one too. I don't know. But again, in Ransom I trust.
So what are we going to say though? Are we going to say because
the Big Show match?
Survivor Series? Okay, because it was an elimination match, a Survivor Series elimination match, even though it was 1v4. We're going to go with that one.
I'm for it.
Okay. If not, I just reserve the right to say in your face, Pat.
Nope.
If it does wind up being the Beth Phoenix one, if we're not going to take time to work through that one, I don't know the year, just off the top of my head without working through it. But she would have been the victor of the next one.
I feel like this is a Pat swerve. I think that's a good call on the 1v4.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Okay,
I think
I'm good with it.
I think he was using our loophole to try and be our around our necks. So, but you're thinking it's probably if not that one, it's like a mid-aughts one with Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, I would say it was. Good Lord, because if we're gonna work like when was Beth Phoenix?
Sidebar: how great is it we get to say the aughts?
Right.
I don't know. It would have been 2000 something.
Probably 5 or 6, I'd say. Maybe 7 or 8, but more than likely 5 or 6, I'd say.
All right, but if we're not going to worry about that one,
right?
Go with the Big Show. He doesn't want all the participants, right?
No, he just wants
the victor, which
and the year
would have just been Big Show, and that was 99.
Okay. Yep, and that makes sense. Also, good on Pat for learning from his error and not asking a WrestleMania-based question around WrestleMania time. Don't dance with the champ if you're shooting blank.
Wow.
Good old Survivor Series. Let's see how the boys did this week. The year that holds the aforementioned distinction is 1999, when Paul White was the sole survivor, taking out his own team backstage and then eliminating everybody from the opposing team single-handedly.
Nailed it.
And Ransom, we trust.
Dude, I don't know how you pulled that one out of your ass.
His
I love Survivor Series.
Sculpted ass.
Like, Beef is a WrestleMania connoisseur. My two favorites of the WWEs are Survivor Series and Rumble. So I watch a lot of those.
So, Poot or Tom, you guys got to be our SummerSlam guys to round us out.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, Pat, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You get fucking nothing. So screw you.
Wow.
Good day, sir.
The
That's
musical
it. Good Lord.
prowess.
Poot.
Oh, we're gonna burrito. Oh, yeah, I guess it is burrito time. After
Do the
that,
thing.
after being serenaded by Mr. the Legend himself. Thank you very much for listening. The what?
LaBouffe.
LaBouffe. Yes, anytime Beef sings from now on, he's LaBouffe. Thank you all very much for listening to the P3 Podcast. We appreciate you listening. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. You can find us over there. That's just search on Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. You can find us anywhere you find quality podcasts. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to take us on the go with you and you don't want to watch on YouTube, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, all those good things. And yeah, let's get into our actual sponsors now. What do you think, guys? I think it'd be a good idea. Thank you very much to Casual Game Dad, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom, and his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. And as he's known on Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad 84, streams a lot of very cool games. I say it every week, but he never picks a game where you sit there and go, fuck, I don't want to watch this. It's always something where you go, ooh, I want to watch that. We play Among Us every Tuesday night. You can watch it over on Twitch. Again, that's Casual Gaming Dad 84 over on Twitch there. And also, check him out on Facebook. Like I said, follow, do all that stuff. Over on Twitch, give him a subscribe. He got his affiliate. Congratulations, CGD. And make sure you buy some of his awesome merch over at gouldgaming.com. That's gouldgaming.com. Okay? And search on Casual Gaming Dad. We also want to thank our very own madman himself, Ransom, and his channel Frig Off Ransom. Always hilarious. Go check him out. Give him a subscribe. Why don't ya? We also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with wrestling in the central and greater Pennsylvania area, and always being supportive as well. We also want to thank all you people for listening. And Pat, happy birthday. You get nothing because we didn't get a whisper. I figured we needed a whisper. All right, let's close this one up. Myself.
Before you burrito, I'm gonna
Beef's the ransom this time. What's up?
I'm gonna self-promote. Go watch my video. If you are looking to be sports entertained, I posted a video yesterday, Wednesday, the 23rd of March. Go watch my video for what to check out on Mania weekend. There is a plethora of great wrestling happening. Go watch it, check it out, and let me know what you think. Go ahead, Poot.
Bombus.
Fest and bulbous. That's right. All right. Closing this out here for all four of us. Myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, Bebe, Mr. Casual Gaming Dad himself, Tiger Bomb Tom, the Madman, Mr. Ransom, and... Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I did it wrong. Mr. Ransom! Ransom!
There it is.
And and of course, our wrestling encyclopedia, Mr. Beef the Legend. Have a good time whenever you're listening to this. Bye.
Pythagorean theorem.